crypto, which is very functional, very fast, but they haven't worked out the regulations and the protections for consumers.
Hello everyone, today we have the Bitcoin believer, Michael Saylor, discussing regulations and the future of altcoins. He makes some very solid points that will make you question your entire altcoin portfolio. If you want to stay up to date, keep watching the video and find out for yourself because it is pretty serious.
I need it to be scarce, I need it to be desirable, I need to be able to afford to hold it for a decade, maybe hold it for 20, 30, 40 years. And I want something that's globally desirable, ideal, and the ideal property is something that a person more affluent than me, more intelligent than me, will want from me in a decade. So the case for Bitcoin is it's scarce, desirable property. It's not a currency derivative. It's not a security. It's beyond the reach of a company, a nation state, an agency. You can hold it and you can give it to your children or your children's children. You can take custody of it and you don't have to trust a counterparty. And I think we can see, especially this month, the risk of counterparties is great. If you hold gold in a vault and you're Russia, your gold can be seized. If you have cash in a bank account in Argentina this week, your cash is locked up. If you had Bitcoin with a counterparty like Voyager or Celsius, they might very well block you from withdrawing it. So Bitcoin is desirable because it's portable, it's global, it's scarce, and you can duck a counterparty you don't trust, you can transfer it to a different counterparty, or you can take personal custody.
Saylor gives a detailed explanation of why Bitcoin is the ultimate digital commodity. He says it's scarce, desirable, and easily holdable for long periods, almost free. Due to its decentralized nature, Bitcoin can be held in private wallets, safe from government interventions or company failures.
Well, I think that Bitcoin is the first and the greatest and perhaps the only digital commodity. And a digital commodity means not a security. It means not without an issuer. So in a world where we're going through a digital transformation, you want a digital commodity to serve as the base layer. Because if I can put billions of dollars into a digital commodity on a layer one, then I can move it on a layer 2 or layer 3 or layer 4 at the speed of light, friction free, and I can store the money for 100 years. So there clearly is a benefit to having a layer 1 digital commodity. Now, as for the rest of the world's full of securities.
He has strong views about Bitcoin being a digital commodity and not a security, since it doesn't have an issuer. However, his thoughts about altcoins are much different. He says almost every other crypto except for Bitcoin is a security, meaning it has an issuer and is bound to strict regulations which haven't yet been put into action. Are you finding this information useful? If so, subscribe to our channel and like the video, because we upload videos like this daily, just so you can have an edge in the market. Let's continue with the video.
The crypto world in general has been focused upon crypto exchanges, DeFi, tokens, crypto securities, cryptocurrencies, stable coins. That's one part of the technology world. And it's an embryonic part. The difference between the technology and the non-crypto market, like the technology that Apple's using, and the technology in the crypto market, is that Apple's technology is sitting generally in a regulatory zone where there's less murkiness. There's not a massive debate about whether Apple can add a certain feature to the iPhone. 98% of what Apple does is not that controversial, 2% is. On the other hand, in the crypto world, about 75% of what they do is controversial. So there's a lot of controversy and there's a lot of uncertainty and a lot of murkiness in crypto, which makes it very, very high risk and more like it's appropriate for venture capitalists generally, and it's a speculation. And it'll continue to be that way until we lay down clear lines about rules for crypto exchanges, what's compliant, rules for cryptocurrencies, what's a stable coin, rules for crypto securities, what's the disclosure required on a crypto security that's got an issuer, right? We don't really have those rules. There's a lot of controversy and uncertainty about what they will be.
Saylor says it's only a matter of time before the crypto space faces intense regulations because of their nature as a security. Just like a publicly traded company, they need to be transparent about everything, which so far we have not seen.
If you want to invest in technology, right, invest, right? And by the way, when I talk about Bitcoin, I'm talking about saving. I'm actually converting money, a currency, into a commodity. I don't see, if you said to me, what are the other commodities that I might choose in lieu of Bitcoin? Gold, lumber, land, real estate, right? Oil, natural gas fields, right? Those are commodities in lieu of Bitcoin. That's what it competes with. If you were to say, well, do I want to invest in a technology? Well, what's Solana and Cardano and ETH are competing with each other in a technology realm, but in essence, they're private equities with teams, and it's like private venture capital. Whereas Google, Apple, and Facebook are competing with each other in their public equities, also with teams. And that's public tech investment. So if I had $1 billion of capital and my job was to invest in tech equities, I would be sifting between Apple and Google and Facebook. And if I had $1 billion of venture capital and I was a crypto VC fund and my limited partners wanted me to invest in private entities, high growth entities, the like, that was my mission, then I would be sifting through the other cryptos because I'm a VC.
He goes on to compare Bitcoin with commodities like land, oil, lumber, gas fields, and gold. But when it comes to altcoins, he says they're much more like tech investments like Apple, Facebook, or Amazon. He didn't say that they're not good investments, but he believes they're not in the same realm as commodities. He then says it's more suitable for venture capitalists who are willing to take much higher risks.
With regard to Ethereum, I think Ethereum's a security. I think it's pretty obvious it's a security. It was issued via an ICO. There's a management team. There's a pre-mine. There's a hard fork. There's there's continual hard forks. There's a difficulty bomb that keeps getting pushed back. The difficulty bomb is going to wipe out the entire ETH mining industry. It's going to obliterate it, murder it, okay? The fact that somebody is able to murder an entire industry and then they keep changing their mind every 6 months about whether to do it or not do it is indicia that it's a security and not a commodity. For it to be a commodity, there can't be an issuer. And the truth is you can't really make decisions. I mean, one of the fundamental insights in the crypto industry is the fact that you can change it is what makes it a security. So if you look at most of these cryptos where they have hard fork after hard fork after hard fork, the problem with a hard fork is that changing the protocol means that some development team is making a decision. And if you can change the protocol in a material way, you can change the monetary protocol, right? A hard fork can change the issuance pattern or can change the value of something. And so that makes an investment contract under securities law. And that means it passes the Howey test. So what you want is a completely decentralized protocol where nobody can change it, even if they wanted to change it.
Although Saylor avoids making direct comments, he does speak up about Ethereum and says it's not a commodity. It's a security, and fairly so. There was a huge development team behind it. It was launched as an ICO. It is pre-mined, and the contract can be changed via a hard fork. To be honest, he does have a super solid argument.
So what will happen? Nobody knows what will happen. I don't know what will happen. But what I know is there's a lot of uncertainty. So you're either a speculator or you're a venture capitalist, and you're waiting and to see what will happen. And And Bitcoin is different because it's proof of work based. And ultimately, there was no ICO, there was no pre-mine. Nobody could change it. Nobody wants to change it. It doesn't need to be changed.
According to Michael Saylor, Bitcoin is perfect just the way it is. It doesn't require any hard fork, wasn't made available through an ICO, and there is no issuer, unlike altcoins.
There's 20,400 cryptos, or 20,000 cryptos. There might be a half dozen that we can debate whether they're commodity, but none of the proof of stake networks and none of the smart contract networks would be in it. You'd be having a debate over proof of work networks, right? That have not changed in the past 5 years, right? That don't have an issuer, don't have a management team, don't have a foundation, if you didn't have a pre-mine, if there's no ICO, if there's no foundation, if no one's controlling it, if it's not changing, right? Then you can have a debate. But I don't think that Ethereum qualifies for that debate.
You heard the man. Out of the thousands of cryptos, he believes there are very few cryptocurrencies that you can count on one hand and debate whether they're commodities or not, just because they are based on proof-of-work models and haven't been changed in a long time. What do you think about Michael Saylor's views on altcoins? Is he justified? If not, let us know your thoughts in the comments. Consider sharing this video with your friends so they don't miss out, and press the bell icon to keep up with our daily uploads.